Excerpts from When Black People Are in Pain, White People Just Join Book Clubs by Trey Johnson. I am 10 and watching my grandfather's back stiffen and shrink as an officer pulls us over on the way home from the mall. I am 16, face down on the hood of a cruiser in Ewing, New Jersey. I am 22 and sitting in the back of a car at night with my palms pressed against the driver's seat headrest in an empty lot off a feeder road outside Houston as two officers shine flashlights into our eyes. I am 36 in a mainline Philadelphia neighborhood, crying in my car when an officer taps my window because someone in a nearby house has called about me. I am 42 and watching the news of George Floyd, the latest racial killing, unspool across TV and social media. And as I watch, I am 10, 16, 22, 36 all over again, all at once. I am also experiencing another time loop, though. Once again, as the latest racial travesty pierces our collective consciousness, I watch many of my white friends and acquaintances perform the same pieties they played out after Trayvon, Eric, Sandra, Corinne, Botham, Breonna. They are savvy, practiced consumers of meaningful things. This is all to say that when things get real, really murderous, really tragic, really violent or aggressive, my white, liberal, educated friends already know what to do. What they do is read and talk about their reading. What they do is listen and talk about how they listened. What they do is never enough. This isn't the time to circle up with other white people and discuss black pain in the abstract. It's time to acknowledge and examine the pain they've personally caused. Black people live and die every day under the burdens of a racism more insidious than the current virus that's also disproportionately killing us. And yet white people tend to take a slow route to meaningful activism, locked in familiar patterns, seemingly uninterested in really advancing progress. There is still a world of signs and signaling where actions like joining book clubs, often based in some meaningfully curated readings that are probably easy to name, white fragility, how to be an anti-racist, between the world and me, maybe even all about love, take precedence. But those actions are fraught. Book clubs, for instance, are comfortable gatherings of friends who are unlikely to nudge one another to the places of discomfort that these books at their best demand. Who wants to damage a relationship over something as abstract and removed as racism? Learning about new perspectives and the ideas underlying them is great. Wanting to discuss them among friends in safe spaces is understandable, but outside the window are people marching to the beat of a different drum. The right acknowledgement of Black justice, humanity, freedom, and happiness won't be found in your book clubs, protest signs, chalk talks, or organizational statements. It will be found in your earnest willingness to dismantle systems that stand in our way, be they at your job, in your social network, your neighborhood associations, your family, or your home. It's not just about amplifying our voices, it's about investing in them and in our businesses, education, political representation, power, housing, and art. It starts also with reflection on the harm you've probably caused in a Black person's life. It may have happened when you were 10, 16, 22, 36, or 42. Comforting as it may be to read and discuss the big questions about race and justice in America, making up for past wrongs means starting with the fact that you've done wrong in the past, perhaps without realizing it at the time, in the old workplace, neighborhood, classroom, softball field, maybe even the book club. The confusing, perhaps contradictory advice on what white people should do probably feels maddening. To be told to step up, no, step back, read, no, listen, protest, don't protest, check on Black friends, leave us alone, ask for help, or do the work. It probably feels contradictory at times, and yet you'll figure it out. Black people have been similarly exhausted making the case for jobs, freedom, happiness, justice, equality, and the like. It's made us dizzy, but we've managed to find the means to walk straight. On my stroll to my voting place on Election Day in early June, I rounded a corner of City Hall and saw not only 24 armed National Guard troops, but a Black woman slow riding her bike in wide, dreary circles that created a miniature Ouroboros, bringing her closer and closer to the fence line of soldiers that drew me in too. As she completed her first arc, I was able to read the sign taped to the handlebars. In red, white, and blue letters, it read, "No, you do better."